Right. Hello everybody. It's your old friend JWB back again. Old legend. You joined me Sunday morning. Just leaving with a load of straw from Little Oak Farm. That's where my main stacking area is. We've got around about, I think we've got around about 4,000 tonnes left here now. We shifted a bit into the power station, but it's been very slow to start with, to be honest with you. I have been busy carting the straw in myself over Christmas. I do have two drivers. Kevin's working with me still, and he's off today because he's got to have a 12-hour break, something like that. Oh, bugger. This is typical of my old boys. He knew I was coming out of a lorry and he's opened one gate. Bless his little heart. Don't you love him to death? Oh, I shall be back in a mo. Just 1 minute. Yeah, I don't suppose. It's my young and Anthony, so he doesn't drive wagons, so he doesn't know. Possibly you need a fair bit of room to get one out of the gateway, especially one 60 foot long. Right, away we go then. Yeah, I've been a little bit off the old YouTube just lately. Life's been a bit difficult for me, personally, mainly personally. Had a lot of trouble concentrating on what I'm doing. So yeah, my sister Marion, she's not very well, and well, she's very unwell, to be honest with you. She's been in hospital all over Christmas, so yeah, that's all I'm willing to say about that. So, but yeah, and other things about my personal life that is my personal life. That's what I call it, personal life. So, but I was a few comments on the old YouTube there. JWB sold all his equipment. He's packed up. He's sold up, and one thing and another. Well, that's all untrue. Well, it ain't that it's untrue. It's just the wrong information. I did sell some of my equipment. I sold my bulker because it's a shit job. Whoever wants to run bulkers wants their head testing. Unless you're running direct to your customer, and then it's not great, but it's a crap job. It really just is. You're running 38 ton up all the time. You're caning the shit out of your lorry and your trailer. They expect you to go all over the place on building sites and God knows what. It's bloody dangerous work, especially if you're a tipper lorry and not an ejector. It's just bloody dangerous. So there weren't enough reward in that, so I sold my bulker and that to the chap that I was working for. Yeah, so he had that. Now I'm gonna let this person come through because they're just making it hard for me. Come on, me darling, little old vulture wagon. But there we go. I know, mate, it's early. I wouldn't. He's on his bloody telephone, he is. But no, it's been an interesting Christmas. Yeah, it's been an interesting. It's done okay, but it's the first Christmas like I've been on my own. So yeah, it's very different, very different. But it was had its highlights. Yeah, had its highlights, like, you know. But no, we've to be quite honest with you, we've had a very hard harvest. Stop start all the time. Wet bloody weather and everything. But we've had a difficult harvest, but we had a good harvest. You know, I was expecting 3,500 tonnes, and we got over 5,000 tonnes, headed for 6,000 tonnes of straw. We did get rid of the BB 950 New Holland. We sold that out, and we brought a Krone, which we ran this year, which went well. we've got a lot of chrome bales, so some 90 deeps. Like, I would say close to 50% of my straw is 90 deeps. So yeah, but the old Hestons are still popular over the 90 deeps. I've got Hestons on board now. Should be able to see them in the mirror. I've sort of set the camera so you got like a bit of a driver's eye view. But he's no, yeah, it's we've got a fair old bit of straw to sell. It's been a bit slow going at the moment because our main contract is with Elan Power Station, and they've had some issues getting their power plant back. They have a shutdown every year, and what they call a deep clean. It's necessary to keep everything safe, and you know, so the plants are up and running sort of 100%, but it always takes a while to get them operating to 100% again. So it's took them about 2 months to get them up and running, but she's running again now, and we're hauling straw to them. I've sold another 2,000 tonnes under contract to AFB. Yeah, so the straw side's done well. The grain side, not as good as last year on the price, but we had some damn good yields, real good yields we had. So to be honest with you, swings and roundabouts, we probably came out in around about the same sort of position as the year before. So the year before I got 170, 180 pounds a tonne. This year I think my best price was 128 pound a tonne for feed wheat. But no, we got on all right with that. So but yeah, it's been a hell of a mountain to climb, but I think well, we're still climbing it, but it's getting easier. But I am running the wagon myself because I've got a new driver now. Noisy boy Dave, he talked himself out of his job, so he's gone, and we've got a new chap now who normally drives this lorry, and to be quite honest with you, it's pristine in it. This bloody lorry's spotless. You could eat your dinner off the floor. He lives in it. He comes in on a Sunday, sometimes Sunday evening, Monday morning, and he stays in it all week. So yeah, it's a Globetrotter, so he's got loads of room and storage. But so far so good with him. Kevin's still with us, but he's off today. Like I said, he's got to have a 24-hour rest. Like he had Christmas Day, mind you, I suppose he had Christmas Day and Boxing Day off. So to be honest with you, he hasn't got to have a 24-hour rest, but he's having one anyway. So we'll re-click his clock on Monday. So he's he'll be back in tomorrow. Yeah. Kevin's all right. He's looking at flights. He's off to Japan again in the spring, I would imagine, to see his son. So I'm trying to get Jason through his HGV at the moment. He's passed all his theory and everything, but he took his test, but he had too much on his plate at the time. He couldn't concentrate, bless his heart, so he failed his test. But we're getting booked up again. We've got a better company for him to go with this time. So hopefully they'll do a better job than the last mob. You've got to kiss a few frogs before you find your prince or your princess. But no, we've still got the same kit. We sold a load of stuff that we just weren't using anymore. You know, I changed a couple of bits of kit round. We managed to get 200 acres of our 300 acres of winter cropping in, and we got 70 acres of beans in as well, winter beans. So 270 acres is in. We've got around about 250 to go into spring cropping, maybe a bit more than that because I took some more ground on. So yeah, so I haven't got less ground, I've got more ground, to be honest with you. It just seems to keep coming to me. I seem to have a magnet in my arse for people wanting to rent ground to me. So yeah, that's all going forward. But I've got all my light ground in. I've had a bit of an issue with a contract which I do, but I think a thing to keep into mind is you just can't plough, cultivate anymore. With this year, you've got to put those flat lifts back into your cultivations plan. Yes, you're burning a bit of fuel and everything, but you've got to do it, or else you will end up with sort of 8 inches of sludder on your ground if you plough, or if you mint hill. You end up with a skating rink, which nothing's going to get traction on, and it's going to drown your bleeding crop anyway. And at the end of the day, that's going to affect your yields. So I think, to be honest with you fellas, flat lift that pan. If you're plough panned or whatever, you've got to burn some diesel flat lifting and a bit of metal, in my view. I've got all my light ground in. I've got my 2 top fields which I haven't cultivated yet. So if I get some frost, I'm going to put a flat lift through that this winter, and so if I get some frost, I can get some traction to pull the bloody thing. But the 270 is up and running again. The 7270, she's up and running again. Had a brand spanking new gearbox put in it, so that's a good tractor now. We're going to actually probably do some straw cart. I've got 1,000 tonne to take to Pig Farmer, so I'm probably going to cart that with the fast tracks, because the lorries are busy doing the power stations. This particular lorry is under contract to EPR, so this has got to stay on the power station work, contracted to. But like the other one, the old white wagon, she's I can take her off if need be, but I'd rather keep her running straw for the power station. We've got a lot to shift, to be honest, so we've got to get on with it and get ready for this year. So hopefully things are going to be a bit easier this year. We've rejigged a lot of things. I am looking to go full on to 90 deeps, but I haven't. I've got to get a variation on my contract with the power station, because I am contracted to supply Heston to them. Well, I'd like to go over to 90 deeps. Their attitude is, with Heston you run 3 layers, so you unload quicker and everything. But the thing about 90 deeps, I can get another 3-4 tonne on a lorry, which is a big help to me and the power station, because they're getting more tonnage in on the same load, so that ups their productivity tonnage wise, but it's going to lower it a bit because they've got another layer of bales to play with. So it's probably swings and roundabouts for them, but they would be able to shift more tonnage with the same amount of lorries, so I don't think it'd make too much difference to them. But running 2 balers is a bit of a pain, because you've got to have 2 different chasers. So what I would like to do is out Heston, get a HD 90 deep, high speed, not an 8 stringer, just a standard 6 stringer. Them 8 stringers, they're all well and good. Yeah, they're okay. Like everybody says, you can fetch them back to 600 kilograms of bale and run the shit out of them and go like hell with them. But I think people are going to find there's some pretty tidy tram lines this year on the spraying and that, so running like hell with a baler would be suicidal to the baler, in my view. You'll end up ripping bloody wheels off and leaving your pickup reels in tram lines and stuff if you try pushing too hard. So I'm quite happy with my 6 strings. If I can get 26 tonne on a lorry with 6 strings, I'm quite happy. I've had, to be quite honest with you, we've had a bit of an issue with the these 8 stringers pushing our front axles overweight, and it's our arse that Vos are going to kick, not the bloke who baled the bales. It'll be us. So and you don't know you're overweight till you get to the power station, so you got to be a bit sensible. Like this, what I've got on here, they've been averaging 23, 22.8, 23 tonnes a load, which is pretty good, to be honest with you. But no, yeah, it was a difficult year for the actual working of the farm and that. And then, like, obviously drilling season. Oh, for God's sake. I didn't know there was so much rain up there, to be honest with you. I'm surprised it's still falling out of the sky, because how the hell can there be that much rain up there? I've had it raining with a blue sky. There was no clouds in the sky and it still was trying to rain. I'm going to pull in this lay-by because somebody's persistently binging my phone, so I better just have a quick look, make sure everything's okay, because I'm having to keep my ears open for my mum and my sister, so my mum keeps me up to date with situations. So I shall just stop here like a good legal lorry driver. Yeah, that's gone through. Oh, away we go again. Yeah, so I've never seen so much rain in all my bloody life. Go on, girl. A bit of a slope here. But she's it's been dry over Christmas, which is a help, but no, so we've got lots of bales to cart. We've got 1,500 to go for the power station at Ely, 2,000 for AFB, and another 1,000 for the pig people. And I have actually got a shed full. If anybody over in the West Country or down in the West Country over in Wales wants a bit of nice wheat straw or barley straw, I've got a Dutch barn full of it. I've got Quadrant, well, 90 deep in there and Heston in there. So yeah, for the year it's good straw. So there you go. You want to give me 50 quid a tonne for it, give us a shout and you're welcome to a load. And I'm hoping this year as well, I don't know whether I will, but there's that bio unit, the ADR plant near the power station at Ely. They took my tops last year, so I hope they're going to take them again this year. So I'm going to have a little bit to burn, but not a lot, hopefully. Fingers crossed. You got to be positive about jobs, ain't you? No use being miserable about it all the time. Just get on with it, grab it by the tail and start swinging, you know. But no, I'm quite happy. I was a bit concerned about the winter cropping because I'd brought my winter seed, Siskin winter barley, so which is a feed wheat. It's easier to look after than the milling wheat, and you can actually sometimes get biscuit wheat on it, but there isn't the premium between the two. There is a bit of a premium, but some years better than others. But I predict winter wheat and that is going to be a bit short this year, but that's my prediction. All the ground opposite me hasn't been drilled. Well, they direct drill and they just can't get traction on it. It's heavy ground and they can't get traction, and the fields that they have drilled with this here direct drill, yeah, it's poking out of water, to be honest with you. And the corners, well, corners and headlands are just shy. There's nothing there. So like all my light land went in with a weave and 8 metre, which I've still got. And yeah, it went in well, to be honest with you. I should say on Caldicott I got 100% result. It was no, you know, it weren't no better and no worse than any other year I've done it, you know. So we got 100%, and that's first week behind peas, so that should give a reasonable yield there. And Sutton, that went in, I would say 90%. I had a couple of wet spots, and you know, I left a couple of ruts here and there, so yeah, gonna have to be careful with the cutter bar when the old combine goes through it. Yes, I have still got the 460 Lexan, and she went right through harvest again without a problem. I had a little bit of trouble with the header, where the crop feeder tines push it into the crop elevator behind the header. It all started breaking up there, so I had to get my welder out and some plating. I plated that all up. So if we keep the Lexan, which, well, we will be keeping her, we will need a new header for it, to be honest with you. But that's by the by. I can't afford to swap it at the minute, so, but she went straight through. She went straight through as usual, and Oliver's serviced her up. Yep, cost me £4.5 grand for a service, but they replaced a couple of bits that would have broken in the harvest, and you know, we got through with no problems, no hold-ups with the combine. So yeah, she's done me proud yet again. She's sitting in the barn over at Graffham. I've got to get her back. I fetched a header back. I got a header here, but with all the straw we had in the yard, there was nowhere to put anything, like, you know. I managed to get all the machinery under cover. I've still got all my existing tractors. I haven't changed none of my tractors. They're all the same. I did have an old Johnny Queer on hire for the summer because I couldn't get the gearbox done in my 72 before summer was up. So before summer started, so I hired in a tractor, and yeah, good old tractor. I didn't drive it, Jack drove it. He had it on a chaser. Absolutely brilliant in the field, absolutely brilliant. Good chasing tractor, to be honest with you, with a gearbox on it. Had one of those I don't know what they call them, oh sugar, gone right out my head. Well, Fendt Vario box. It had that sort of a box in it, so it worked well in the field, but on the road, yeah, crap. Agricultural bounce on the arse end of it. Yeah, no, it was no better in the class. Put it that way. It was no better in the class. So why buy John Deere when you can buy a class? Mind you, that bloody class, she's tasty on bits. I'll tell you straight. If you want any bits for it, they can get pretty expensive for parts. And silly little things like, you know, I had an arm for the mirror, and it was only a small bracket, and it cost me 140 quid. And I asked him if it was silver plated or something, solid gold, and he laughed. Bless his heart. I'll get round this roundabout and I'll have this fella, because he's happily doing 50 in front of me. He's ruining my fuel consumption. Yeah, I'm only doing, what am I doing? 20 miles to the gallon, so don't suppose that's too bad. That's bloody brilliant, actually. That's got to be wrong. I wish I got 20 miles to the gallon. I'll be lucky if I'm getting 9 or 10 at the minute. But no, this lorry is actually very good on fuel. But she's got a few Ks on her. 1.4, so it's got an annoying little low, hear that little, that's a front grille mirror rubbing on the bloody sun visor. It does that at low when you ain't flat out. If your ball's out, it don't do it, you know. Take her up to 58 mile an hour and she won't do it. But this lorry in front brakes, whoever brakes are, being a pain in my bum. Have to be a bit respectful with roundabouts with this, because people do try to like to get up the inside of you, which is a bit worrying sometimes. But no, we're trucking along here, you know, doing this job at the moment, and I'm looking to after harvest. I've got some stuff to do with solicitors and what have you, but I've got sort of some things out after harvest, after Christmas. After Christmas, I've got some stuff to sort out. You know, we are going forward, but it's very slow, and pretty painful sometimes. But yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty worried about my sister, you know. I know there's no point in worrying, because what will be, what will be. I am a firm believer now in karma. I do believe in karma, and what you give out, you're going to get back. You know, I've seen it now 2 or 3 times, and you know, some people have been pretty shitty to me, and they've got their comeuppance, and I haven't done nothing. I've done nothing at all. They've just been shitty to me. Next thing I know, did you know this happened to such and such? And I'm thinking, right, yeah. Well, if anybody did deserve it, they did, you know, and they got it. So I'm just going to carry on being nice old Johnny boy, getting on with my life, and you know, just bear in mind what goes around comes around, and never a truer saying was said. And you will get what you deserve in this life, I think. So I'm just going to carry on being a nice person and law-abiding citizen. That's what they call them, innit? Yeah, loosely. But no, but we're on top of the job. We're on top of the job. This is that new junction on the A14, Huntingdon and that, where to replace Kisby's Hut. Nobody's going to know what Kisby's Hut is, are they? Only the old truck drivers know where Kisby's Hut is. Yeah, you've got Buckton roundabout, you've got Kisby's Hut, and then you've got Spittles interchange. Well, half of that's been closed now. This new flyover replaces all that. They don't actually even go into Huntingdon now. Now it's working well, but yeah, when they first opened this junction, oh, I come through here, oh, it was a bloody nightmare. I sort of sitting, I was here waiting for the traffic to go through to the roundabout because everybody was going the wrong way. Bless their hearts. But I'm getting used to the junction now. This is the main part of it. I haven't used the Huntingdon Frapston junction yet, but I've only used this one. I know down towards Bar Hill and that way, they're still working on it, and it's 50 mile an hour and all coned off, so there's no way that it's finished. There's still a lot to do, and the Cloverleaf ain't finished yet, not even near Huntingdon. So, but it's yeah, it's an interesting life. I got a nice picture for Christmas off of Jason. He's basically took some photographs he's had from the harvest, and he's made me, I suppose it's about 2.5 foot by about 1.5 foot picture, and big picture in the middle of the two fast tracks ploughing, and then the harvest and the cattle and the sheep all around it. So it's a nice picture. I'm going to put that up in the kitchen. To be honest with you, it's what we're all about here at JWB, that picture. So, we're all about the farm now. You know, it's my passion and it's Jason's passion, so that's what we're working with now, and we'll get our enjoyment out of that and take it from there. But it's a good little business, everything's in profit, so I just got to get over this hump in the road. But he's no, Jason's doing all right. He's been bless his heart. He said, "Can you do some bloody filming, Dad, and upload it?" He said, because everybody keeps coming on my channel. Where are you? Where's your dad? When's he going to do films? Oh, gold, Benny. So, you know, he was relieved I put a film up last night, so which has got 2,500 hits on it already, so I ain't doing too bad. No, so he'll be pleased that I'm up and filming again as well. Yeah. We had a couple of new jobs this year. I see George has moved on again. He didn't last there long, 3 years. He's obviously going to go into the family business. Wouldn't be a bad thing. That'll give him something to work to. When you're working for yourself, there's a whole different feel about it. If you get it wrong, you don't eat at night. You know, when you work for somebody else, if they get it wrong, you still eat. So, if you see what I mean. Your mistakes are your detriment. No. You can actually make a mistake and not realise you've actually made it for a week, for a few weeks, or a few months, or even a couple of years, and then then it kicks you in the arse. Somebody's going to be disappointed. This is Spittles, which is half closed. They've shut the road that goes to Cambridge, comes off at Spittles and goes to Cambridge. That's all closed now. They closed them 2 junctions, so it's you have to go over the new bypass and everything. They've actually put porta cabins down on the road down there. I don't know if you can see them. Oh no, they're down the other side. I know you're going to say, don't play with your bloody camera whilst driving. Now I'm stopped, so I'll put you back again. There you go. Is that alright for all you wannabe police officers? You need to concentrate on this job. You don't want to be making mistakes with 60 foot and 40 odd tonne. I'm feeling a bit lonely out here on my own. The old truckers, they're all off on their Christmas breaks, isn't they? It's normally wall-to-wall and treetop tool here of truck drivers and trucks. I don't think she got many running to the power station today. She's got a few, but like obviously because she had Christmas on Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday. They emptied the barns down over that day, so they've been working their guts out trying to fill them up again for the last few days. So I've been bringing a few in. Like I bought 2 in yesterday, and I got this one today. I'm reloading for tonight. So you know, but I can do tomorrow and Tuesday, but then I've got to have 48. Well, I've got to have a 24-hour rest. But Tony will be back on the 3rd, so he can take over proceedings. What were they? Shut. When they shut? They're open tomorrow and the day after. Then they're shut for New Year's. Then I don't think they come back. I think they're back on the 2nd, to be honest with you. They've got to, because obviously they've got to keep the barns full, keep the straw going in the barns. I've seen a few rabbits about with myxomatosis the last few days, to be honest with you. Well, I think it's Mixie. It looks like Mixie. I haven't seen that for a while now. Old rabbits are a lot further and fewer between now. They got that new virus, didn't they? I think that's wiped them out a little bit. Don't see so much rabbit damage on the crops. I must admit, it's quite nice driving over Christmas because you don't get the traffic. Yeah, there's a bomb. I normally come in through here at 5 o'clock, but I overslept. So, well, about 6 o'clock I get here. I normally tip my first load about 6:30, but it is Sunday morning. I just don't want to be late for church, you know. You've got to get and thank the good Lord for everything He's given me this year. So, the old bell starts to toll about 11, doesn't it? So I might be a little bit late this morning. If you believe that. I know there's going to be a lot of religious people out there sort of saying, "Oh, John, don't be like that." But I do believe, but I believe in Mother Nature, and I believe in this place, the countryside. This is my church. This is where I worship. I do believe in the spirit world, and I believe in, you know, that side of things. But a man in a dress that needs to be worshipped in a big pile of stones, I don't believe that. He was a simple man by according to the book, wasn't he? He was a carpenter. So, yeah, simple men don't need things like that. Oh, that's enough about religion. I ain't going to get all religious on you. But no. This is my church out here in the fresh air and the sunshine. Let's face it, it's pretty clean at me. It's well washed, isn't it? It's been on a rinse cycle for the last 6 months. So. Bugger, that has been wet though. Oh. I went on one field with cultivator, fold out cultivator. I didn't even fold it out. Jason was there trying to knock the top off of a power harrow and he was struggling, so I didn't even fold it out. So I turned around on the corner of the ploughing. I went down to my frigging arse with it. I couldn't get out, couldn't get no traction. Jason had to go and get a chain and drag me back onto the track with the power harrow and the tractor, because it was a trailer cultivator, you know, big 8 metre. Well, it was a Verdestad. A previous field it worked quite well because it's got the scrapers and everything, light soil, but I went in there, mate, oh dear. That's plough pan to hell though, that ground under there. I'm gonna have to start breaking that old pan up if this sort of weather's gonna keep plaguing us, but it's been absolutely diabolical. I'll tell you what, a lot of people can learn a lot off these old fen boys up here. I've been going up to Outwell and Freeholes and up that way a fair bit, and yeah, I've seen quad tracks ploughing being chased across the field with combination drills, and they've been there in sort of in the evening when I've sort of gone back. When I've gone back 5 or 6 hours later, field's power harrow drilled and done, and the sprayer's top is pre-emerging it, and that system works so well up here. I know we've got different ground down our way, but like me, I was power harrowing on top of ploughing, fresh ploughing, and it went okay. But when I power harrowed and then tried to drill into it, it stirred that top little bit up, and I lost my traction and I couldn't drill, and I was leaving bloody great ruts with the drill. And I was only putting half a ton in a drill at a time, see, so I've got rather a large drill. But I reckon if I'd have had a combination drill, I could have got the whole bloody lot done. If I'd have had like a 3 or 4 metre combination drill, I could have got all my winter cropping in. But the old fen boys up here, you know, they know how to work wetland. Unbelievable. But I know it's very well drained up here, but again, their headlands are pretty compacted, and you can see their headlands and places where they've dropped in. But on the whole, I bet they're really more or less up to date up here on the fens. I doubt if there's anybody who hasn't put their winter crop in. So they could learn a lot. And these old boys with a Mintill, yeah, that's really bit them in the arse, I think. You know, well, opposite us, Maudlin's ground, none of that's drilled. There's a block there, I don't know, 200, 250 acres, none of it's drilled. Most of the ground round us, the sandy ground's done, but that light ground, that heavy ground, none of it's done. And I know a lot of people who have Mintilled and they can't get on it. It's like a skating rink. So, and that won't dry neither. What they need to do if they get a frost is bloody go on there and flat lift the bugger. Get that drainage going on it. But there you go. That's only my humble opinion. Humble opinion. But plough and power harrow will work in any conditions. They'll work in perfect conditions, or they'll work in shit conditions. So if you can only afford one tillage system, that's the one night you want. Like, bugger, that heater's getting warm. I only got my shirt sleeves on. Oh, I had to turn it down. Where's the button? There it is. Oh, my old bones are aching, I tell you. All this wet weather. My right leg. Oh, my knee and it. Oh, we had an old cow. She got her stomach packed up and she was losing weight. So we had to get the knacker man in to take her away. And I didn't want to shoot her in with the other cows because I didn't want to upset her, and she'd gone down. So we got some big straps and we're getting these straps under, and she brought her head round straight in the side of my knee. Oh, she knocked me knee out of joint. She knocked me hip out of joint. Bugger, I went down like a ton of shit in a ton of shit. And Jason looks at me, "Are you all right, Dad?" I said, I wouldn't be laying in this cow shit here if I went. Oh, I went straight in a load of shit that. Oh. I lay there up to my ear holes in shit, and he was like, "Are you alright, Dad?" I said, "I wouldn't be laying in this cow shit, Jason, if I was alright." And he tried to get me up, and I said, "No, hang on a minute, hang on." And as I went to sort of try and get up, I felt my hip pop back in, so that was one good thing. But bugger, I had half ached for the last couple of weeks, but we got her out of there, put her gently in the middle barn, gave her something to eat, drink. Knacker man turned up round the corner, and he just walked across, bang, gone. Nice, clean, tidy, and away from the other cows because I didn't want to upset them. And if she blinked, she would have missed it, you know, nice and quick. They do a bloody good job. They come from over, where the bloody hell then? Yeah, near Dunstable, not Barton-le-Clay. Oh, bugger. You go through Flitwick and over Junction 14, and that's the next village on. I forget what they call it, but that's where they're based. But they do a damn good job. He's really, really good at his job, that bloke. And we have him every time. Quick, clean and easy. And the cow doesn't suffer or anything. But no, we had to let her go, so I've got another one there. She's beginning to go the same way, but I've got feeder buckets in there now. They got silage, they got hay, and we're going to take off the steers now because we sold 12 of last year's animals, but we've kept 6. I'd like to up my herd, but if I use them 6 heifers, I've either got to get another bull to serve them and keep them as two herds, or I've got to change my bull because I won't put father on daughter. It's not the way it's done, not even for short-term beef animals. No, not in my book anyway. So, and we got 14 from this year, so we've got 20 there. So I'm going to put them in together, feed them some concentrate, and then just think about it as we go through winter, what I'm going to do with them. My brother's got a few heifer calves. I might be able to do some swaps with him, have his calves, because they're not off of my bull. We shall see. I want to up the cattle, to be honest with you. You know, they don't cost a lot. I've got cheap grazing. I am putting more grass in, to be honest with you. I am drilling another 40 acres of grass, and I just drilled 40 acres this year, which will be coming into production in the spring. So, you know, so we're upping our grass by about 100 acres. It always seems to sell quite well, hay, to be honest. Some years better than others, but always seems to be a reasonable price on the hay job. So just another string to your bow, isn't it? So, right, I'm droning on here. You know, I'm going to save a bit of battery for the return trip. I'm going to shut you off now for a bit and listen to my radio a little while. I'll get unloaded and yeah, I'll catch you on the way back. Okay, lovely job. I'll see if I can't get this uploaded tonight. Alright, cheers then. Bye.